Hey everyone at 2:30, and you guys will leave ready to take action inside of Cammand. So yesterday we went through contacts, we went through setting goals and reporting. We talked about our pipeline and checklist and some client updates, and we jumped into designs and we played with some different things. Okay, there's a few more people saying they can't hear me now. Okay, I'm sharing my sound, but I shouldn't need to share my sound. That should just be for music. And I can see myself and my volume now. I will turn myself up one. Okay, so today we are going to be spending a good amount of time inside of smartplans, designing some different smart plans, talking about best practices, pulling things in from the library, making them our own, how to do triggers, how to add some automation. We are then going to jump into some websites, explore some websites, look at some different features, some examples of what other people have created. We're going to touch on adding some pages to our website and making some improvements there. Not a huge amount of time. We're going to more spend some time talking about the features, the functionality, and kind of how we're going to drive people there and explain it to them. We're going to jump into campaigns and explore a few things there. And most importantly, finish with creating and launching some Facebook ads so we can start generating some leads and growing our database that way as well. So as always, if you guys have questions, just jump off and ask them. Have anything to contribute, please do as well. So we're going to jump into smart plans here and just give you a real quick overview. And then we're going to dive deep into them because this is my favorite part of Cammand right here, guys, the library. The library is where everyone gets to share their plans, their follow-up, their resources with you and us. And if we like them, we can pull them into our system and edit them, or we can just use them as they are inside of our business. So from the get-go right here, you can see we got two main tabs. We got My Plans and we have the library. So mine is anything that I've pulled in from the library or anything that I have created myself. And the library is everything that's published to us. So let's first talk about kind of the definition of what a smart plan could be. At the end of the day, a smart plan is a series of follow-up events that are scheduled and automated and increase follow-up and increase consistency in communicating with people in our database and just staying top of mind with everyone as well. So smart plans can be long, they can be drawn out, they can be a one step that repeats every month like a neighborhood update. You can also look at smart plans as templates as well. Have you guys ever sent out the exact same email repetitively? Maybe you have an email that you send to a buyer as soon as you put them under contract, congratulating them again, talking about here's some of your next steps, here's some things you don't want to do, don't go buy that brand new car. Well, if you send that email over and over and over again, we could technically create it as a one-step smart plan. And every time we're ready to congratulate someone on getting under contract, we just add them to that smart plan. And from the smart plan, you just add them and it's a one step. So it will send and it will finish. So Dana, give me a thumbs up if you're looking at Cammand right now. Zoom is acting really funny on my left side. It's showing me a different screen that I'm sharing. Perfect. Thank you. Zoom can act real funny sometimes, but we love it and we get used to it. So usually from here, I jump into the library, but I'm going to do it slightly differently today. We're going to just build a basic smart plan real quick so you guys can see the steps involved in that. Because then when we jump into the library and talk about some good plans already in there, it will make a lot more sense to you guys, okay? So if you guys are following along inside of Smart Plans, we're going to come up here into the top right, and we're going to hit create. We're going to name it. You will see the name of this, and if you ever publish it into the library, they'll see the name of your plan too, but you can change it when you go to publish it. We're going to hit apply, and it's going to take us into the Smart Plan Builder right here, okay? So on the left side is basically going to be the timeline. All the events, as we add them, will start stacking up and moving down. And on the right side just here, these are all the different events and actions that we can add to a smart plan. So, just kind of going through some, we just click them to add them. So, creating a task, that's pretty self-explanatory. On day 9 of my open house follow-up plan, I want to give them a call. And obviously we can make a call or we can create a task. One thing I do encourage you guys on, that there's a few, if we scroll all the way down real quick and look at some rules of smart plans, I hit these rules all the time, and they're barriers in a way. If we look all the way down the bottom, it says that there's some limitations to smart plans, meaning there's some maximum amount of times they're okay with us communicating with them. And obviously this comes from legal. And so when it says 7 times in 7 days, if I want to physically pick up the phone and call someone, I could set the task to make a call, and that is a touch task. However, if we were to create a task and call it a non-touch task, but the task name is to call this person, the system won't actually know that we're touching them that time. And so we'll actually be able to, if the other 7 touches are emails, and instead of making a call, we set create a non-touch task to make a call, we won't hit that limit quite as often. So when you guys are adding your steps to make the phone call, create it as a non-touch task, and we will get around a couple of these barriers, okay? The other barrier that isn't listed here that I actually hit all the time is HTML emails. So we'll touch on what that is in a second. It's basically pulling in your graphics from designs. You can only have 5 of those in one smart plan. So I've given some feedback on why we need to remove that, and hopefully it will happen one day soon. So that is creating of the task. And you can see along here, we're on step number 1, day number 1. So those are really the 2 numbers that you want to pay attention to just there. We talked about what make a call is. Send an email. So again, this is going to be step 2, but we're still in the same day just here. Okay, so maybe I don't want to call them on day 1 and email them on day 1. If I didn't want to do that, then I will just set a delay. Maybe I want to wait. So a 1 day delay, if I'm calling them today, a 1 day delay will send me to tomorrow. And so you can kind of see it right here. Day 1, we've got a non-touch task. We've waited 1 day, and on day 2, we are going to go ahead and email them. So right here under email type, you can see that there's simple and there's designs. Simple is basically text only in this box. So whatever you type here, it will appear in the email, a little bit of branding added, but it'll appear as basically a text only email. So there's some things over here to make sure that you are using. One of the things being a merge field. So if I say hi, and then merge field, I want to go grab that contact's first name. I don't really want to create a smart plan for every person. So that's going to pull in their first name. And then we're simply going to start typing. I'm just going to copy and paste something from my other screen real quick. Maybe won't quite follow along. So after I've got the main point of my message, I'm also going to add just a little bit of agent branding right down here in the bottom. This will improve soon the signatures that we're able to add. And maybe I put my app link in just there. So anytime we're typing on these, it shouldn't let us edit these merge fields, only add them and remove them. And later I'm going to be in the library with you guys, and we're going to be talking about whether or not you need to edit a plan. Any plan you pull into your system, you just need to take a quick peek at all the steps inside of it. Because, for example, if you pulled this plan in and started using it immediately, well, it's sure this branding right here would change to you, agent first name and last name. But if that's my phone number, you obviously don't want that in part of your campaign, do you? So when we get into the library in a little while, just know any plan that I have created, it will say in the description whether you need to edit it or not. And for the last year or so, I have been making plans that need no edits, because we don't want you either having to take the extra time to edit it if you're not sure how to, or to forget to edit and then put my branding on your email. So when you're pulling it in from the system, you will absolutely get rebranded, okay? And we're going to look at what some of that looks like. Now we've got another delay right here. And when I click on send email, this time we're going to look at the designs. So yesterday we saw how when we hit create a design, there was a chance to click email. Anything that we created within that step, within that library, or the templates already in there by KW can appear right here. So when I hit select design, we've got two tabs that will open up. The left one is Keller Williams tab, or Keller Williams library. So, you know, we can click on it right here and we can hit preview. We're not going to preview too many of these right this second, but anything that we want to use just here, we certainly can. And I think there's about 70 of them. And we can search by name as well. This filter up here in the top right, I would not use this filter. If you want a just listed card, just come right up here and type in just listed. And again, these are all the templates that are already in there for just listed. On the right-hand tab where it says my design templates, that's everything that we have created inside of Cammand, inside of designs using the email template just there. So I'm just going to attach one for now. Make sure you guys are using my August newsletter. I'll be showing you guys that in a minute. When you pull in a design, you'll always be sent to the screen to edit it. Okay, and you guys can see all of these boxes are editable if you want them to be. And to edit them, you simply click the pencil, or you double click, and then you're up here typing in the box. My best advice from this screen right here, every time you finish something, hit this done button. Don't edit this box and then jump straight to this text box. It can jumble them occasionally. So I'll hit done and save, and we pulled in an HTML email into one of the steps. So according to this, on day 3, I will send them this action. And so in just a minute, when we're in the library, we're going to walk through some already made smart plans that are for open houses, introducing yourself to your database and the newsletter, and that they'll flow and make a lot more sense just there. One of the other options is to send a text message. So if we're sending a text message, that means that we've already gone into the marketplace and we've subscribed to Twilio, and we have bought a subscription to Twilio and added some text messages to our package. Just know inside of Twilio, there's a couple of steps you want to take. You can go in and request a local number from Twilio if they do have local numbers still available. And then inside of your setup, you'll just want to make sure that you forward calls to your cell phone as well, because Twilio is now forwarding phone calls to all of you. If you guys don't want to text, well, then if you don't want to text through the Twilio number, because it is a different phone number from your personal phone, well, then create a task again. And in that task, again, I would select it as a non-touch task, because then I can build a longer smart plan. I would simply copy right here what I want to say in the text, and then I'll just copy and paste it from my phone into my text message and send it out to them manually. So different people have different preferences when it comes to Twilio. Some people don't love that it's a different number. Don't get caught up on it being a different number. Just know if you do want to use Twilio, your first step before sending any text messages out through smart plans needs to be to send just one text message out to your database. Let's say we're only texting our sphere of influence specifically. We want to go in and send a bulk text message to just the sphere of influence and say, hey, everyone, it's Stuart. This is my business texting number. So if you get any text messages from me, no, they're not spam. I'm just trying to streamline my texting you from my computer. Tell your sphere of influence, hey, it's me. So, don't unsubscribe from me. Don't block me. Because what will happen if we don't send that text message out and they just get a random text saying, download my app now. Well, they may not know who it's from. And that first time that a text message gets sent, it does give them an opt-out option. Don't use any kind of text messaging service that does not give you an opt-out option, especially in that first text. If you guys are texting internet leads, random leads that came in or people that you met at an open house, it really doesn't matter that your phone number is slightly different because they didn't know your phone number in the first place. So just a sphere of influence best practice, if you're using Twilio, mass text them once and just introduce yourself on your business texting line and they won't think anything of it.
Hey, Stuart.
Yes.
So I've got a Twilio account set up as well too, and I've noticed like when they respond back to a text message from this platform here, it doesn't forward to my main number. It just comes through to the other number and it notifies me through the Kelly app. Is there any way to have the text message when they respond forwarded to your main number?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Not yet. Now, there are obviously, we can reply within the system, but no, it is reading it inside of Kelly right the second and responding it that way. They're working on a couple of efficiency things there. But yeah, no, not right this second. When we have Command Mobile, and by the way, I saw Command Mobile on Monday and it looks beautiful. We will be responding to them through Command Mobile. And for anybody that says, well, when's that coming out? I'm expecting about November time from what I was told. Again, timeframes can be timeframes there, but that would be your solution then.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you for asking. If you guys have questions, definitely jump on and ask. So just know, guys, text messages do send out now between 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. Central Time. So think about that when you're building a smart plan. Because if you're building, say, a Facebook lead smart plan and you're wanting to respond and send someone a message the second you get that lead, well, if somebody comes in at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time, they're outside that window. So the smart plan actually won't start until 10 a.m. the next day if the first step is a text message. However, if my first step is an email, it will start it will send that email out as soon as you receive that lead, no matter what. So again, text messages between 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. Central. So when we're in Facebook ads in a little while, you'll see when we launch a Facebook ad, we can attach a smart plan to it. So, and when we receive any kind of lead through Facebook, we start that smart plan. So my best practice would be to start with an email so you can get a welcome email out to them as soon as possible. Two more criteria right here on the right side, add to smart plan. So a certain step within your smart plan can be to launch a separate smart plan. So maybe when we look at introduce ourselves to our database, to our Sphere smart plan, you'll see in the middle of it or somewhat towards the beginning, we actually add them to another smart plan and it's the monthly neighborhood nurture. So on day 3, we add them to this smart plan and this separate smart plan will start working at the exact same time. So again, if you're looking to create a really intense follow-up campaign, we used to have one where we called it the 10 days of pain. It's obviously still out there where we communicated 10 times in 10 days or more. Well, in that instance, you could technically build 2 smart plans again, and on day 5, launch another smart plan. And you got smart plan A and smart plan B, and on day 3, they both send a text, and you kind of get around that rule of communicating just once with somebody. If you guys really want to have an intense follow-up plan like that, get with your tech trainer and get with me, and we'll kind of talk about some best practices if you want to be that intense with your follow-up. And restart smart plan, fairly self-explanatory. It's going to kick you all the way back up to the first step again. So you can do it 1 through 5 times, or it can be unlimited times. A best example of unlimited is our quarterly call plan. We'll check it out in just a second, but that plan tells you, hey, Dana, it's time to call this person. It waits 90 days, and then it hits repeat, and it goes back to the first task, and it says, time to call this person again. Waits 90 days and repeats, and it goes unlimited until you take them off that smart plan. So every 90 days, you'll have a task when you log in that it's time to call this certain person. And we're going to review all those smart plans next. One thing that you will notice just here, let me delete that step, we should be good to go. So we got to make this appear. It says add steps and save, and then we can put a trigger there. So somewhere I've got a subject line that I haven't filled out properly. So I'm just going to delete my steps. Okay, let's see, did that work? Here we go. Here's the one that I didn't do. It was staring right at me, right in front of me. See, we just broke the rule. We can't restart a smart plan that is less than 14 days long. Another rule that is in there. And for some reason, I'm not seeing why it isn't letting me add this trigger. So I'm just going to delete all my steps real quick. Sorry, guys. And we're just going to do a 1-step email. Perfect. So right here, you saw that the add trigger event just popped up for me. So in order to make that pop up, you do have to have finished and completed all the steps inside of the smart plan. So it's easiest if we just add 1 step and then do the trigger. But what a trigger event inside of Cammand is, or inside of smart plans, is linking it to a tag. And so if we are building a smart plan that is for open house visitors, we will come right here under add trigger event, and we're going to select the tag open house and hit choose trigger and confirm. And we can see that this open house tag is attached as a trigger. So now when we add a contact, if we add that 1 tag to that contact, it'll automatically start this smart plan for them. And so in this instance, an email is the first step. So when I create a contact, add the open house tag, within a minute or 2, it should send this email out as the first step. So again, that just helps save some time when it comes to adding people manually to smart plans. Just know if you already have people tagged as open house inside of your database, and then you create a smart plan and add the open house tag, it won't add all those past people to this smart plan. You will have to go add them yourself. It won't backdate it. So make sure you are taking advantage of these contact triggers. I think open house is probably the main one that I'm using. You know, I'm going to attach one to my sphere of influence campaign as well, that shares the tools we have and reasons why they would want to work with us. Even though I've already got my sphere of influence in there, I'm meeting new people every day, or I'm getting contact information from people already in my sphere that I don't know 100% of. And so as I grow my sphere of influence inside the database, well, I might as well have a couple of smart plans attached for sphere of influence so that I can just get a little automation going. Any questions on building the smart plan or attaching these triggers? Just remember, tomorrow I send out an email to all your market centers, and I'll put the exact same email in the drive as well. And it will have all the steps on how to do everything that we've done today, done on Tuesday, and it'll go in a lot more depth, and it'll be a little slower paced for you guys. So if you're trying to build a smart plan and attach a trigger, you know, play a minute or two and then pause it. Play a minute or two and pause it. And then if you get to a point where you can't quite finalize it, reach out to your market center tech trainer. They will get on the Zoom one-on-one with you. If you need me, I'll be able to help you guys and just help finalize it for you, okay? So I promise you, once you've done it once or twice, it isn't as hard as you would think. My best advice for building your own smart plans would be, don't build it inside of here first. Every smart plan I have in the library, I opened up a Google Doc or a Word document, and I typed what I wanted to say in each step inside the Google Doc, and then I just copied and pasted it once I'd had it finished. So we are going to jump into the library now so that we can explore everything that people have created for us, because the good news is, if we don't want to spend hours and hours creating smart plans, people have already done it for us and we can use them. So we're going to jump over here into the library. And the first thing you see, obviously, we have a search function just here. You can search by plan name. This is going to be the plan name up here in bold. You can search by the author name, or you can search by the description. This text down here is the description, and we're going to search in just a minute. Right here, when it comes to the filter, if you're looking for a slightly longer smart plan, I wouldn't play in duration right this second. I would just come down here to touches and show me a smart plan that has, 5+ touches. That's going to show you some of the longer smart plans. Maybe you want to just pull in ones that are only 4 and 5 stars. Depends on what you're looking for. There's a lot of unrated smart plans inside of the system that are still going to be really great for you. So our first step is identifying what could we possibly need a smart plan for. So we need a smart plan for when people come in our open house, for Facebook leads, for our sphere of influence. Oh, do we have an event coming up in a month or two that we want to start inviting to? Because that will be a great reason for a smart plan. Do we want to update our database about, a Cares for Kids event that we just had and just share the good news with them? So first I'm identifying what I would want to use a smart plan for, and then I'm coming in the system and I'm spending a few hours looking at what everyone's already created for me. And if I can use it or copy and paste it into my own system, I'm going to do that and save some time. So right here, we have our featured plans. Those are just ones that Keller Williams feels like you might like, that have had some recent activity around them. These ones here are the ones made by Keller Williams. So if we're looking at this quarterly call plan right here, this is obviously the description. This says how many people are using it and how it's rated. How many steps are involved here? Remember, there's a difference between a step and a touch. A delay is technically a step, but it's not a touch, and that delay doesn't communicate with them in any way. But if we hit this view steps just here, it will bring up the steps that are involved in the smart plan. So that's why I said we built one real quick first before we looked at the library, because after you saw all the things you can click into the smart plan, I think seeing these make a little more sense. So earlier I mentioned this one. You make a phone call, you wait 90 days, it repeats and sends you all the way back to make a phone call. So that needs to be on every single one of our, on everybody's. There shouldn't be anybody in our database that doesn't have this attached to them. And our sphere of influence absolutely needs to have this attached to them, because as we talk about a 36 touch, it is really important to make sure we know what goes in a 36 touch. I'll pull that graphic in just a second. I had to restart my computer right before camp started because my camera wouldn't work. So that's the quarterly call plan. If we come over a little more, here is a birthday smart plan. So again, yesterday we talked about getting to 100% health score, and we talked about getting to 100% isn't the important part. The important part is having the key information about that person: name, phone number, email, address, birthday being one of them. Again, guys, we look for any reason to communicate with our database, and no one that I know gets mad at me for saying happy birthday to them. So it's just an excuse to give them a little call. So if I hit the view steps on this one, we kind of go backwards with the birthday smart plan, meaning this is actually their birthday right here. But 5 days before that, the first task that happens says you should probably send them a birthday card. So 5 days before their birthday, you will get a task appear inside a command that says, send a handwritten note to this person because it's their birthday. So again, pretty cool, right? People love to receive little written personal things from us. Anytime we can have a reason to send someone a thank you card, let's definitely make sure we're doing it. Let's make sure we're sending them their birthday card. So yesterday we talked about, or Tuesday, what can we say to get an address from someone? Well, outside of just asking for their permission to update them monthly on what goes on inside their neighborhood, hey, I'm really looking to grow my birthday card list this year. I love birthday cards and love receiving them, and I love sending them as well. Can I go ahead and get your birthday and your address so I can send you a birthday card? And obviously, if we don't want to ask them for their birthday, sometimes we can go in Facebook a little bit and stalk a few people and see whose birthdays are coming up, things like that. So again, pretty cool plan. I get this question all the time. Can I build custom birthday plans? Unfortunately, you cannot. That'll be a really neat feature if we could build some custom birthday plans. Right now, it's just this plan, and it's what you see just here. The backdating of tasks isn't something we can do ourselves. This is the other one that we talked about on Tuesday, our monthly neighborhood nurture. This is another one of those that repeats. And so this sends them an email every month letting them know what went on inside their neighborhood. Some data on homes listed, homes sold, average price per square foot, and it's got some agent branding. The email footer has, your website link, your app link, your headshot, your contact information, things like that. So again, our goal when we build smart plans, you guys have all heard the term 36 touch. And really, if we've got a lot of effective systems, we're probably communicating with someone more than 36 times per year. But if we are communicating that much, we got to make sure that there's at least decent value there so that they don't unsubscribe. So you guys can see in this step, the monthly neighborhood nurture, that's going to give us 12 touches a year. This birthday one, we're going to call them or text them on the day of the birthday, and we're going to send them a card. That's another couple already. We got our quarterly call plan just here that adds another 4 to it. So what we're at 18 touches right now. We're going to hit and we're going to get another 12 touches in just a second as well. Top rated. Now, pretty obvious what that means. These are the ones that agents have rated as some of the top plans that they've seen inside of it. So as you guys are in there looking at plans, rate them, especially if you feel like they are good ones. Now, what's new? I don't really do a whole lot inside of what's new. So right here, we can flip this plan name. So say we wanted to build our open houses. We're just going to come in here and search open house. I'm going to review a bunch of them to see, now what did that person say right here? See, this touch task is to send them a video. Delay, send them this email. You like what that person says in that email, we'll copy and paste it. Or if I just want to use this whole smart plan that someone's already made, I can simply click add smart plan. I can rename it right here if I want to, and I can hit download. I've already got this smart plan in my library. So it won't let me pull this one in. So if that download button is ever faded out, there's a good chance you pulled that smart plan into your system already. The other way that you can search is by author name. So if you guys come in and type my name, remember it's UART, not EW. And then from here, we're going to go to view category and we can go to the newest. So obviously don't bring this one in. I was testing a couple of things earlier, but right here, guys, we have the August newsletter. Okay. If you guys want to add this to your campaigns and to your follow-up, we just talked about that we were at 18 touches so far. I put a newsletter in every single month for you guys. So here's another 12 touches. Okay. And so all you guys have to do to get this person onto this smart plan, we're just going to go through it right now, okay? We're going to hit add smart plan. We're going to download. Again, it's telling me I already have this smart plan in my library. So as soon as we hit add, we will jump over to my smart plans because we just downloaded it. In that example, it would be sitting right up top. And so we'll pretend this is the top just here. Here it is. Anytime you pull something in, guys, I recommend you edit it or at least read it. You may see things that weren't typed correctly. You may see personal info that you want to remove. So we'll click the edit button real quick. And I'll show you guys what the newsletter looks like. From here, you can edit the subject line of the email as it comes through. And right here, this is our email. We can hit preview if we wish to. Just know this branding will show up when it sends. If you want to, send it to yourself first to test it. So you can see, we got a little update on supply. They click that button, they can go read the whole article. Something about rates and buying power. We summarized it. And again, there's the article in that box. Why they shouldn't wait to buy a home. Read the article. I didn't write these articles. I just went to Homekeeper, Keeping Current Matters, places where they don't have to subscribe in order to read the article. A little recap on what we went through and did in Red Day. And all right here, you can see agent first name, last name, information about ourselves. So when you guys edit, you do not want to edit any of this stuff, okay? Your app button will automatically have your app link inside of it. So the reason why all these are merge fields is because when I publish something to the library and you pull it in, instead of it saying my name, it just pulls all this information from my marketing profile. So if you haven't done your marketing profile yet, it's inside of settings in the top right, connect settings and marketing profile. If you go to launch a smart plan and it says you have a merge field error, these are all your merge fields. It means that in your marketing profile, you didn't put your phone number down, or you didn't put your website or your email down. It's trying to pull it in and there's nothing there for it to pull in. So if I did want to edit, again, I would be inside of the edit screen and I can do whatever I like within this. You can see everything's editable. Right here on these action buttons, there's the website link. You can link any button to a URL. I can also link a picture to a URL. So if I edit a picture just here, we have the link to button. Right now it says nothing. So if somebody clicks this picture inside of their email, it will just load a bigger image and they get to scroll around, zoom in, zoom out. However, let's say I'm sending out a campaign about just listed and I'm advertising my new listing. Well, instead of them clicking the photo and opening load larger, when they click that photo, I want to send them to my website so they can check out that listing on my website, see my website, and maybe they hang around and look at some other homes as well. So I would, on that link to, I would choose web address. I would go to my website and I would find the home. Again, we'll just find any home real quick. We'll click on it. That is your URL just there. So I would click it and I would paste it there. And then anytime someone clicks on inside of that image, they will be sent to that web address. So the main reason I'm using those is probably when I'm advertising a listing, because I really want to drive them to the website. Right here, it says, read full article in this button. I don't really think that they need to be sent by clicking the image there as well. But if you want to make that change, you can. So that's what it looks like to edit back into the library of things that are created for you. And again, I'm going to sort by newest. This one right here, this is an example of using it as a template. One step. You see one step, one touch, and it's done. And unfortunately, only 8 people are using it. That's okay though. View steps, and here's all it says. Hi, and pull their name in. 3 quick questions for you. And it's just a question about investments. So this is a touch you can have with your sphere of influence, with the database that you know, just to identify, are they or aren't they interested in some investment? If we sent this to 200-300 people and 6 of them replied and they said, you know what, I would buy a right piece of investment and I would do it this year. Well, guess what? I get to pick up the phone and call John and say, hey, John, thanks so much for responding to that email. You said you would buy if it was the right deal this year. Explain to me, what does the right deal look like to you? And then let them talk and hear what they have to say. This one right here is introduce yourself to your database if you are a newer agent. If you're not a new agent, there's only one thing you need to edit in here, and that's the first email that goes up. And there's one line that says, hey, I just got my license. We'll just delete that one line that says you just got your license. And the next paragraph talks about why you're partnered with Keller Williams. Guys can see in the steps right here, this lasts 47 days. There's 31 steps and there's 15 touches, because that's the most touches they would allow me to do. So we send a real quick email right here. That is as long of an email as you can send. That was a maximum characters, but we talk about some of the tools that we offer. And we wait a day and then we're going to call them. Wait a couple of days and we're going to send them a picture email. You guys kind of get the idea just here, okay? Another one that I really like just here is our sphere of influence top of mind. And I'll show you what some of these look like, because they're all HTML picture emails. And so we don't get a preview of that. But we walk through the 5 tools that we have here. Keller Mortgage, Keller Offers, Homewood, and I'm forgetting the others. I do apologize. I'll look in just a second. Keller Concierge, and I think the 5th, and I think one of these 5 was introducing yourself as a resource, because you can connect them to vendors, basically talking about your network of vendors. And we're also asking them, who do you know that's a great vendor? Are you a vendor? Have you recently had work done on your home and someone did an amazing job? If so, please let me know. So this plan right here actually lasts 81 days. There's 11 steps to it, and we communicate and touch them 5 times. Right down the bottom just here, I repeated it 4 times. So technically what that means is we're going to email them 20 times in 1 year to tell them about the tools that we have. If that is too much for you, you will add this smart plan to your library. You'll click that little edit pencil and you'll go delete the repeat. And then when you add someone to this smart plan, it will send those 5 emails over 81 days, and then it will just end. And it will keep sending to the other people that are on that smart plan. So obviously, if we're using a smart plan like this, or maybe the open house one, it may be 30 days long, but each weekend or Monday when we add people to that smart plan, we got a whole bunch of people on different steps of the smart plan. Not everyone has to be added on day one all at the same time. So as you meet people and grow your database, be adding them to these smart plans, and it's just staggered. So those are some of the main ones that I do have inside of here. You guys can see right here. This is a good example of one. So this, where I have an open house follow-up part 1 and an open house follow-up part 2. Part 1 has 12 touches and part 2 has 15 touches. This was me trying to get around the touch rule. So when I go to open house 1 and hit add to smart plan, it loads this box right here and it says, wait just a second. The smart plan you're building or downloading actually includes 2 other smart plans, the quarterly call plan and this. So I would hit download on both of them. Just simply download, download, download. And then all 3 of them are in my library. And all you guys have to do is add them to part 1. Because inside of part 1, it has steps to add them to this smart plan. And then this smart plan that happens to be part 2. That sounds a little more complicated than it is, I promise. Once you guys kind of see how it flows, it will make a little more sense. But that was simply to get around. I wanted to communicate more than 15 times in 45 days with somebody that just came through my open house. And that was my solution to do it. What's really cool about these smart plans, guys, is if you want to stagger them out more and you don't love communicating with them that many times, if you say, I only want to communicate 10 times in 45 days, not 15 times. But when you edit the smart plan and you see that I have those delays in there, if the delay says 7 days, we'll just up the delay to 12, 15 days. And it will just stretch the time between each communication task without you really having to do too much editing. So, but again, these are people that came through my open house. I don't really care how often I bug them, because if I don't convert them now in the short term, well, they're going to forget about me anyway and most likely work with another agent. And so I've got a short period of time to really get top of mind. And if I get top of mind with 10, 15 people at the same time of making 10, 15 people a little unhappy and they ask me to stop communicating with them, yeah, I'm okay with that. If no one's emailing you guys back saying, please take me off this list, and no one's unsubscribing from you, that means we're probably not sending enough emails out, okay? So the last thing inside of smart plans, if you ask, how do I add someone to a smart plan? So when we built it earlier, we talked about tag triggers. So if we attach the trigger to the smart plan and we add the contact tag, yeah, it'll start that smart plan. There's 2 other ways to add people to smart plans as well. Right here, you can add contact. And we can start adding them. I don't love this way of adding people to contacts because we can only do it 20 at a time right this second. So it's a little bit of a pain. I hit select all and then I click to the right and I click to the right. We don't really want to be doing that, do we? So remember yesterday when we talked about bulk action steps? And I keep saying yesterday, it was really Tuesday, wasn't it? Time goes too fast. So we're here inside of contacts. And obviously, we've got our whole database. Make sure we're changing it from 1 to 10 to 1 to 500. If it's something that I only want to do to my sphere of influence, I'll come down here and find my sphere of influence tag and apply it. And then I'm selecting all. We have the bulk action drop-down menu here. Add to smart plan. There's my August newsletter. And as soon as we hit confirm, we will send that smart plan out to everybody, okay? So again, we have gone in and we've selected everybody. So something like a newsletter, I'm sending that to everybody, not just my sphere of influence. You know, if I met you 2 years ago at an open house, I'm going to send it to you until you tell me, please stop emailing me. Right here, we are looking at 3 options to send out the smart plan. The first one, it says start now and send it now. So, you know, we added 100 people, send it. It's going to send that newsletter and be done. Let's say we built a text message smart plan that is set to text them on the important dates of the year. So there's some in there, go into the library and type in holiday texts. Let's just use some random examples and say our first one is for 4th of July. We want to text our database, our sphere of influence. Hey, you know, happy 4th of July, you know, what are you putting on the grill today? Question mark. And that's what we want to send them. But I also want to send them when it comes time for Halloween, as example, if that's the next holiday. I'm probably missing a few, but we would set a delay for the correct number of days. And then we could have the next step be to text them then. I'm probably not doing that just because if you miscount the days, you know, you may text them Merry Christmas on, you know, Christmas Eve, and then, you know, it's a little obvious that we automated that. However, maybe 4th of July is on a Saturday, and I don't want to log into Cammand and send a text on Saturday. So I could very easily create that, hit start on the following date, choose the date that it's supposed to send out on, and hit confirm, and I've scheduled it now. And when we hit that date, it'll send all those text messages out for us. Just remember, when we're doing mass text messages, you need to be doing at a time that you can reply, because you can't text 150 people, happy 4th of July, what are you putting on the grill today, and have 30 people text you back and then you not respond to anybody. Yeah, that doesn't quite, you know, send the right message. We want to be able to, you know, text a couple of times back to them and engage them just a little bit. And so that's also the reason why I'm not sending it to 1,200 people. I'm going to send it to my sphere of influence. If I've got a giant sphere of influence of 600, well, I've broken it down into A, B, and C, and I'm going to send it to my A's. The third step here is stagger start over the next days. So what that would mean would be, let's just say we opened a drawer in our desk and we found the 50 open house sign-in sheets that we've been collecting for the last year, and we're ready to do something with them. We've all collected those sheets before, and I've worked really hard, and I just put all 200 of them in my database, and I'm ready to add them to the open house smart plan. The issue there is if we add 200 people all at once, and on day 5 it says to call them, well, on day 5, we're going to get 200 tasks that day that says it's time to call this person, this person, and this person. And that's a little too much for me. So right here, it says how many people a day would you like to add to this smart plan? So in that example, I may add 25 people a day, and it will start 25 today, 25 tomorrow, 25 the day after, and it's going to stagger them just a little. Now, eventually, some of those tasks are going to overlap. However, staggering is when you add a lot of people to a smart plan that has multiple steps involved in it. A newsletter and a one-off smart plan, and we just launch them and start them now. Again, let me know if you guys have questions about that part. And that's basically some smart plans. If you guys have a smart plan or an idea of a smart plan, send it to me. I would love, you know, making some smart plans for you guys. You will always have that newsletter in there at the first of the month. I'd love for more of you guys to use it. When we talk about building a 36 touch, if we don't send a monthly update about their neighborhood and we don't send a monthly real estate newsletter, it's really hard to hit 36 touches. And I would also argue if we don't do an event, it can be hard to hit that number of touches. And events are a really cool thing. We get to invite, see them there hopefully, and thank them for coming afterwards. We'll let them know that we missed them. Again, monthly neighborhood nurture and newsletter, really two important key things to you guys, okay? Got a couple of questions came in. Hank said, when people respond to Twilio text, where does it go? It goes, one, if you've got Kelly downloaded, you should be getting that in Kelly as a response, and then you'll also get it as a little notification up here. You are just going to, you're going to be texting them back through the command icon right this second. I don't remember who it was that asked earlier, but when Command Mobile comes out in a couple of months or so, we'll just be texting directly through there to them directly. So it is a slight little bit cumbersome right this second, but when you're on your phone, go up in the top right and add Command as a desktop item, or just a home screen icon on your phone, preferably inside of the contact applet. And then when you get a text back, you're just clicking that icon, that shortcut, you'll type that person's name in, and you'll respond that way. Not perfect, I know, but that is the solution right this second. So, yep. Hey, Dallas and Amy. So that's smart plans. I know that was a good amount. Just know I'm about a week away from launching my whole YouTube library. There's a lot of stuff already in it. I just got out of YouTube jail for copyright music when there was no music in any of my videos, so they gave them all back to me. And that we're going to break down when it comes to building a smart plan. I think the video is about 50 minutes long in there. So instead of 8 minutes how to do it, it's more of a 50-minute video. And again, get the rough idea started and get with your market center tech trainer, and they'll help get it over the line, guys. They want to see you guys utilizing systems inside of Command. Again, jump off if you guys do have any questions, because the next thing we're going to do is jump into campaigns real quick. And the main thing I want to show you guys inside of campaigns is, I saw Dana clap, we're jumping in of campaigns and we're jumping out of campaigns because Facebook ads are last. The couple of things that I want to show you inside of campaigns is going to be some of the social posting and then some of the email templates from Keller Williams. Now, when we clicked Smart Plan and designed, we saw the Keller Williams templates already in there. This screen right here it's a little easier to access all the previews of them. So that's why I show them to you in here. Also know in the next couple of weeks, email campaigns are going to look very different. And what's going to look different about them is going to be the analytics and the insights. And here's who opened it. Here's who unsubscribed to it. You can go into the contact card and see some of that information. If I'm looking at Bob and Bob opened one of my emails, it'll tell me there, but I've got to specifically go into Bob to see that he opened my email. However, when we send out the campaigns, when we've got those analytics and insights in it, we'll just go straight to that campaign and it'll say, 90 people opened it, 10 people unsubscribed, 300 people, didn't open it. And I can click that 90 and there's the list of all the 90 people that did open my email. Here's the 10 that unsubscribed from me. So those insights are going to be really neat because it's important to see who is and isn't opening your stuff. So we're going to check out just those templates real quick and then talk about social media. When I hit create a campaign, you can see we've got a whole bunch of options here. We'll be jumping into social ads at the end. When I click email, just know when it comes to what's your goal, that really only matters when it comes to Facebook advertising. Outside of that, it makes no difference because I'm going to tell this campaign who to email. On a Facebook ad, I'm not telling Facebook the person to target. I'm telling Facebook the type of person that I may want them to target. So when we hit create a campaign, we'll come right down here to select design and KWRI templates. And these are all of the templates that they have inside of here. So this classic newsletter, if we preview that, this is the newsletter that I use, or the template I use to build our newsletter. And you see this is kind of what the branding looks like when we send it out. I have our app link there, our personal information. Here's a little bit more branding. Tuesday, we talked about why you want to put a team logo somewhere. Well, one, here is the team logo on the website. So you can have the red KW logo there. And inside of campaigns, here's where the team logo shows up as well. So on the website, it's okay if it's blank, but on emails, we don't want to have a blank little square there. So just add the KW logo to the team logo inside of your settings. Every single template has 3 types of designs, and you can kind of see them right here. We got an approachable, a classic, and a modern newsletter A. So it's 3 different styles. In classic, you guys saw it was nice and square. Approachable, if we look at the preview, no, that's newsletter A, not newsletter B. You see how it's a little rounded, a little softer. The edges are rounded off. That's the only difference. And modern looks a little funky and misaligned. Not really my style of template. That's okay. So say we just took a brand new listing and we're ready to blast that listing to our whole database. And we've decided that we really like the classic just listed. We're going to click on it and it's going to send us now again into our email builder. So we got all this text. Of course, we can edit any of this text, putting in our street address. When it comes to the photos, you can edit the photos. So we're going to replace, and we're going to hit listing image. And we will go find our listing. Again, as I said it on Tuesday, this pulls a history from KWLS, okay? So you can see right here, this is 2 completely different listings. The house looks very different. You want to make sure you're clicking the right photos. Again, we can link to it again if we want to. And as we go done, we will start building it. Text, view listing, going to edit that. I'm going to go grab the link on my website and paste it there. I really encourage you guys to start utilizing your websites to share links, because I see people share 2 types of links. One is Zillow, and I don't think we really need to talk about why we don't want to drive traffic to Zillow. And the other one I see often is the Georgia MLS link. And Georgia MLS link is nice while they're looking at your listing, because that's your listing. But if they go down too many rabbit holes and click too many links, it's very easy, or they refresh something, it's really easy for them to get disconnected from you on that link, and then them start just seeing the contact information for the listing agent on that home. We don't really want that. So try to be using our link whenever possible. Earlier, I said not to play and edit with these merge fields. In this example where it says contact me for more details or to schedule a tour, you can absolutely edit that information. No merge fields there at all. Anytime you see these little asterisks, I would recommend that you don't touch those, okay? So again, we have smart plans, and there's a lot of templates in there already created for us. It just listed, there's a featured property ones where you want to send out an email saying, here's the listing of the month, or maybe you're somebody that's carrying multiple listings right this second, and you want to send out a month-end summary. Well, guess what? I sold these 2 and I just listed this one. We can use these in any way, okay? And this whole block right here, that's called a listing block. So when we're inside of designs and we hit create an email, we can pull in this block if we want to, and we attach a listing to it, and it'll show the listing photo, some listing information, etc. So there's different ways that we can use these different templates. my advice would be, find the few templates you think you'll use often, and then just use that same one every single time. That way I don't get lost inside of a library trying to find different templates, different designs, that sort of thing. So again, two real ways of sending out the email: smart plans, and then we can come into campaigns and email as well, because there's a lot of cool templates inside of that, but campaigns are definitely one-off emails. Smart plans are more consistent long-term emails, or one-step emails that I'm going to send repetitively to different people. Obviously, when it comes to a just listed, I'm only going to just list a house one time. So the next time a just listed comes around, it's going to be a completely different home, so I'll have to redo it anyway. Again, a lot of cool analytics here coming very, very soon. If you guys see anything pop up after sending campaigns and you get a little pop-up right here and it says, congratulations, your analytics are available, just know they're not available to you. You shouldn't be getting that message right this second. If you click on it, it will tell you they're not available. It hasn't been released to everybody just yet. So back to, again, campaigns right here. Again, jump off chat if you guys have questions. We got plenty of time. We're at the home screen of campaigns right this second, okay? And we're looking at a few things here. Right here is our quick posts. So what a quick post is, content already created for us, by Keller Williams marketing department, basically. We've already connected our Facebook account. And so our goal here is, how do we automate some Facebook posting so that, I don't have to do it all the time. A lot of us are really good at, for a couple of weeks of posting content, and then we get busy and we forget to do it. And before you know it, it went 2 months and I didn't even post anything. And I'm a big believer that if someone emails us, or sorry, if somebody Googles us, we just sent a just listed postcard to a seller that's thinking about selling, and they type my information in on Google, my Facebook page is going to appear somewhere up there for them to access. And if they go to my Facebook page and I haven't posted in 2 months, they can start making assumptions about that. And maybe I'm not, in real estate, maybe I'm too busy for them. Who knows? So scheduling Facebook posts is super important. Over here on social posts, we can schedule them, and we're going to click that in just a second. But say, and we've got our video here we're going to touch on. There's a bunch of other ones about to come. So if I shuffle, they're going to start rotating. So it looks like we got about 6 other ones in rotation right this second. If I click social posts, I usually have them down the right side as well. But again, we got to shuffle them. So if I want to get these onto my Facebook page, I can simply go right here to this little share arrow. And then we are going to be looking at our post builder. I actually forgot this morning, I disconnected my Facebook account to show something to someone, and I didn't reconnect it yet. It looks the exact same no matter how you are posting it. Right now, the example is Twitter. Works the same way for Facebook as well. So we hit share, and up top here is the text. You can edit it. You can do whatever you like to it. It has the image of the Facebook post. Just remember, if you're making Facebook content images, or you're making an image to go on your Facebook ad, Cammand does add our logo for you. So if you add a logo, it will add another logo. So I'm just not putting the logo in there myself, but we choose, would you like it in the left or the right? In this example, you can't really even see it, so it really doesn't matter. Right here where it says schedule, I can post this immediately right now, and it will go onto my page, or I can schedule it and say, you know what, why don't we go ahead and schedule this for Monday at 10 a.m. Perfect. we would then hit schedule post. Again, the reason why I'm having an issue here is because I'm on Twitter, when really this is a Facebook post. I'll connect my account in just a second. We're pretending it's Facebook. We hit schedule post, and it's now scheduled to go out at that day and time. I'll then come grab this other one, come down here to schedule post. Maybe I want that one to go out on Thursday at 10 a.m. and I would hit schedule post again. So our goal is to have some consistent, regular, kind of generic stuff ready to post. And then during the week, as we're out doing activities, posting on top of it. So you guys are out showing some homes. Take a couple of pictures of the homes you're showing. Make sure you're posting where you're showing the homes to. I was out, great day today showing some awesome buys. We went from Jefferson to Winder to Lilburn to Stone Mountain. I can help you guys anywhere in Atlanta. Reach out to me if you've got any real estate questions. You never want someone that just to tell you, hey, awesome news. I bought a house, and they tell you where it was, and they say, well, I didn't know you worked that area. And you think, well, that area is only 15 minutes from where I live. Why wouldn't I work that area? But the general public doesn't always know that sort of thing. You're out showing some new construction homes. Jump on Facebook Live real quick and do a real quick video in and around the home. You're just getting and building that content. Facebook loves when you go live with some videos. Right over here, when we go into social posts as well, I could hit create a campaign, social post, and now I'm in that same view, but it's blank. So if I wanted to make the content myself, or in addition to what's available, make some content, this is the exact same thing just here. I'll make my content, add some pictures or video, tell it when I want it to post, and hit schedule post. So yesterday we talked about what's a real generic task just here, whether it's on your calendar, book calendar, Google Calendar, or whether it's in your tasks just here. We need to time block each month, or maybe a couple of times a month. We need a time block to put content in social media, whatever social media you want to be active on. Do it, because if not, we're going to get busy and we're going to forget and we're going to get a little lazy, and then it isn't done for us. The last thing I like to show you guys is this little neighborhood video. So when I hit the share button, it's going to ask me, what neighborhood would you like to make a video about? Now, right now, when I choose a neighborhood, it's going to pull in data for that neighborhood. I can make this exact little video about a city, about a school district if I wanted to. However, you can see right here, it pulled in some data. If I change this to Gwinnett County, I would have to go into the MLS and pull the data myself. It doesn't have that capability, but that is data that I can go pull fairly easily. But make sure it's all correct, guys, because this is pulling data without someone interpreting data. So right here, it says average home price. But it says the home price is on the decline. I don't think home prices are on the decline, but what probably happened was a home sold for $415 and the next home sold for $410, and it probably looked at that as a declining price. Homes for sale, days on market, you guys can edit these all you want. Right under here where it says neighborhood features, we can delete that, and there's a bunch of, this is kind of like, what do the neighbors say about the neighborhood? What does Yelp say? It pulls these things in from a few weird places. We can say that people that live in this neighborhood love coffee. They love, very fitness oriented, and everybody there loves dogs. Again, pretty generic. The next steps, all our agent branding pulled in for us and our market center information. And then when I hit next, it'll take just a few seconds and it's going to generate, just a little video. So maybe you live in a neighborhood that has an HOA Facebook page. And this could be something that you guys posted once a month. It's just a real quick teaser to them. So that's the video. Again, not the most professional video you may ever make in your life. However, I think it's a pretty neat video. If people get used to seeing short little videos like that, they'll recognize it the next time you post it and click on it, because it kind of knows they know what it tells them. So, we're always just looking for basic content when it comes to social media. And that kind of satisfies that for me, at least. When it comes to direct mail, I don't touch too much on direct mail in this class. Just know when you create a campaign, there are templates already in there for you to use. You can also go into designs and create your own templates. If you are going into designs and using your own and creating your own design, make sure you know the correct steps around bleed edges and which format to download them in. I'll put that in the command camp. It's a little graphic. There's 3 steps. And if you don't follow those 3 steps, it will spit it out the wrong size, and we'll have to resize it. It's a little bit of a pain. There's a few improvements coming to direct mail very, very, very soon. And one of those is going to be direct mail campaigns. So say you're looking to farm a neighborhood. Right now, direct mail, it's a one-off mailer. I just listed a home and I want to let people know in the neighborhood, just listed it, come check me out in the open house, etc. There's going to be a few campaigns in there for farming of neighborhoods. So I'll be able to generate a list, add so many homes to that list, and over the next 3 months, receive X number of cards from me automated. So, that's going to be in that very soon, almost as soon as some people may already have it. So that is all we're doing in campaigns for now, because we end on building our Facebook ad. And I know that's what all of you guys come here for, I believe. However, we wait until the end for the good stuff. Just know if that is why you came here, and your office is running any sort of promotion around Command Camp and reimbursement, they are going to want to know from you after you've ran the ad. They're going to want proof that you've ran the ad. And this screen right here is your proof, okay? Campaigns, paid ads, mine are all drafts right this second. I advertise in other people's accounts. If you are somebody that has a good size marketing budget and you want a little assistance with some ads, I do get in there and play with different things with agents. I don't guarantee results or anything like that. That's my disclaimer. However, right here it would say how much money you spent. And that's the screenshot they're looking for, okay? So let us explore our websites just a little, okay? And so our main purpose when it comes to a website is that a buyer can go to it or a seller can go to it and they can have, a user-friendly, intuitive, fast loading experience. If they can't have any of those things, well, the good news for them is there's a whole lot of websites out there and they're just going to jump to the next one. And so when we're looking at our website just here, some people say they're basic, but I always kind of go over to our friends at the Z company and say, well, kind of looks the same, right? Search here. start here. We won't drive them any more traffic. So the consumer is sitting on this screen right here. Now, they're most likely going to be prompted to go ahead and do a search, obviously current location. These are those saved searches that I have set up inside of Bob's contact. And we're just going to spend about 5-10 minutes here, and we're going to talk about, what the consumer may experience, some features of our websites that we may or may not know exist, and what features of our website can we take advantage of for running Facebook ads, especially if I'm ready to start launching a few ads, but I don't have a listing yet. Listings are the best Facebook ads to run, in my opinion. You have an item, a home, a piece of information that buyers are hungry for right this second, and you get to dangle it out in front of them in the world of Facebook or Instagram in the hopes that they click and ask for more information about it. And so when it comes to what makes and what does not make a good Facebook ad, I always use myself as an example so that I don't offend anybody, but just know I see these ads all day long on Facebook, and the same agents tell me, well, my Facebook cost per lead was $7. Why is yours $2? And this is the ad that costs $7, $8, $10 a lead. It's me saying, hey, everyone, I'm Stuart, and I want to be your realtor. And that's it. That's all I put in my ad. Well, guess what? That person doesn't know me. They don't care about me. They see 30 other realtors out there saying, hey, I'm Stuart. I'd love to be your realtor. Some people may be getting clicks from that for sure. We could be getting a lot better clicks and a lot lower cost. It's kind of like the download my app. I've got the best app. Well, that person doesn't know us yet. They're not connected to us yet. There's a bunch of people out there that say download my app. Our Facebook ads got to add value to them, or it's got to offer them something that they may not be able to find super easily themselves. And obviously information on the web these days, it's more and more readily available to consumers, right? When I first got my license, people weren't searching online. Buyers weren't finding the homes at the exact second that the agent found the home on the MLS, or even before them. So it was a little easier. As we walk through this, we're going to be talking about the 3 main features that we can use as a Facebook ad as well. So the consumer is here sitting and looking at this view. And on the left side, you've got our grid view. All of these boxes inside of the blue lines, those are specific neighborhoods where we've pulled in information from Nextdoor about a neighborhood. Because being able to provide local level neighborhood data to buyers and sellers, it is important. So they can jump around if they wish to. On the right side, you'll see sometimes we do duplicate listings. We always duplicate listings. It's just whether they show up on the same page or not. I don't know when that's going to be corrected, but we have 2 primary MLSs in most of our areas, and a lot of market centers do not have that. And so we're a little bit of a unique situation for them to fix just there. It's never been a problem for me. The consumers, they have the ability to go ahead and draw wherever they want their boundaries to be. Whenever they go to our site, it's going to ask them for permission for their location. So when we talk about offering something of value, an ad could be, would you like a list of homes for sale in your area under $400,000? And in order to do that, the only thing we would do, we'd come to the price filter. We'd take it down to $400,000. And when we run the Facebook ad, you're going to see there's a line right there that says destination link. And so the way that Facebook ads work, they see us on their timeline. Our goal is to make them click that learn more button. And when they click learn more, a box appears on their screen with their name, phone number, and email, and it's already filled out for them. It pulled it from their Facebook profile. And if they hit OK, they will then be sent somewhere. That is the destination link. Just know when the consumer clicks learn more and it populates their info, they can change that info. Okay. And some people will change their info. That's why we focus on our database as our #1 referral source. because we know we can convert our database, approximately 16 to 1, 6%, depends on what systems we have set up. If you guys are converting 6% of your internet leads, you guys are winning out there in the internet world. And we need to have you on some webinars so you can share your secrets. The typical web conversion is about 0 to 3%. And I say 0 because if you run a campaign for $50 and you get 25 leads and you call each of those 25 leads one time and you never call them again, your conversion rate is going to be 0. There's just no doubt about it. These are internet leads. We know it takes 7 to 9 touches with someone we're in a relationship with to convert them. And I'm not in a relationship with internet leads. And so I've got to get in a relationship with them and then continue to communicate and touch them, okay? Internet leads is a long-term game, guys. Our first deals always come from our sphere of influence, usually. So that is one filter. We wouldn't need to put anything inside of their location for that type of ad, because as soon as they go to our website, it's going to ask, will you share your location? And people don't love sharing things, but one thing everybody does is they share their location because they're used to going into Google Maps and Google knowing their location, things like that. Come up there and clear that filter. Along the top right here, we have a feed. That's going to kind of be their activity timeline feed. Not a whole lot in it right this second, but it's going to give them some updates about things that they've done. They can jump into their collections. We'll talk about that. A collection, this idea, I believe, was semi-pulled from Pinterest, sorry. When someone saves a home, they can choose which collection to add that home in. And so they may have a collection for their favorite homes, a collection for, their favorite kitchens, favorite yards. That's kind of the general idea just there. And they can invite people to their collection. So if you got a husband and wife, and the husband, we call the wife the main home searcher. And all day she's sending the husband links. Oh, check this house out. Check this house out. Check this house out. It happens all the time, right? In the perfect world, they would both have our app downloaded and the wife would save a home to a collection. And then the husband's wife would ding and say, your wife just saved a home. Your wife just saved a home. In reality, the wife's probably going to keep sending links and things like that. But that is the idea of collections. And some people will definitely use it that way. We can also use it that way because we can kind of sort of add things for them as well and start some collections for them. Saved, again, that's going to bring up that saved search just there. I'm going to jump into the drop-down menu in some other websites. But for the next step we're going to do, we're just going to look real quick inside of a listing to look at, what does the consumer see when they're browsing some homes. So I'm just going to click on any listing. So we are pulling the pictures from the MLS, nice looking home just there. We've obviously got all the information about it, things like that. We're starting to see a little more of our branding now. So here's my information. If they were to save it, it's going to ask them, what collection would you like to save it to? If somebody is on our website and they are not signed in, or on our app not signed in, there are some forced registrations for them. If they go to save something, ask us a question, schedule a tour, and they're not signed in, it will prompt them to either sign in or create an account. That's kind of our forced entry right this second. And they can save it. They can share it, ready to send for somebody. They can hit ask your agent. We can submit that right now. And I'll give it a second. And then about the next minute, I should have a little ding from Kelly. There she is. And it's Bob. So again, I just got notified that they asked a question through our website. I don't know if you guys can, see I'm on a screen that you can't see my phone, sorry. Schedule a video tour. That kind of came around COVID, just more ways to get in touch with you. Choose the platform. You know, this was one of our early releases when COVID first hit us, for us to be able to go do virtual videos and virtual tours for people. Right down here, we start getting into a little bit of branding when it comes to Keller Mortgage. This branding used to be a lot bigger, but based on agents' requests, they did, you know, lower some of that size of branding, and they're on my website. So in order for someone to use Keller Mortgage, they have to be in a transaction with a Keller Williams real estate agent. And by them clicking that Save Thousands or Keller Mortgage branding, they will be attached to me because they're on my website or they are on my app. Then they'll just start by going through those initial steps. We're going to pull some more MLS data as we start going down. Map. Here's another idea of, you know, what do the locals say? Right down here is a neat feature that's probably a little underutilized, and that's just commute time. So I can go right here and I can put in certain addresses. And then when whatever home I'm looking at, it'll tell me, well, this home is 7 minutes to your work and 15 minutes from your house. So I don't know if anyone's ever shown a home before and they love it, and you know, we're talking about it, and then they put it in their GPS and they say, well, this home's, you know, it's way too far for us to make an offer on this home. And in the back of your mind, you're thinking, well, we might have been able to figure that out before we came out here and looked at that house. Well, here's a good way that you could figure it out. We can make sure that we are adding some places and seeing the location. Some school data right here. So when you guys are telling, you know, and driving people to our website, just tell them a couple of things our school does. You know, we got some, you know, public information when it comes to school ratings and student teacher ratios, and we pull it all from Pitney Bowes. They used to say that. I don't see where it says that anymore, but it used to say all data pulled from Pitney Bowes, a data company. A little mortgage calculator. You know, some homes that are nearby, and different ways to get in touch with us and our branding if we want to. So, you know, overall, you're fairly clean looking. One of our favorite features of my app is the way that you view photos. So if you've never used our app before, make sure you download it. And again, remember, that is a consumer app. So you're not logging in with your Keller Williams login details. You're registering with a personal email address, and you are a consumer in your own app. But when you click on the pictures on a listing in your app, instead of having to click through and view every single one, which I hate, it's got two side by side going down, and you just scroll through them, and it changes as you scroll. So, you know, small feature, but a pretty neat one. So that's what it's going to look like on the consumer's end. Now let's walk through and talk about our last few filters, because we're going to jump into Facebook ads and then be done. And a lot of our Facebook ads are going to be around these filters. So one of our first ones, we could come over here in for sale, and you can see we have a new construction filter just there. So we could run an ad that talked about, you know, would you like access to a list of homes in your area that have just been built or are ready to be built? And again, some of this is really relying on correct boxes to be checked. New construction homes are a lot easier to find these days online than they used to be. This is probably not my favorite ad. Right down here, when we go into more, there's a couple of things in here that I really like. When we scroll all the way down to the bottom, we've got two filters just here. The first one being open houses. And if we toggle that box, it's going to show us all the open houses that are scheduled so far. So it's a Thursday. So we should have our open houses scheduled for this weekend. And if you guys are wondering how to get more business right this second, what does this map tell us? According to this, in the city of Lawrenceville, there are not many open houses scheduled for this weekend. So if I don't have a listing myself, I'm going in and I'm finding some agents in my office that do have listings, and I'm letting them know I would love to hold an open house at your house this weekend. Now, would that be okay with you? And I guarantee you there's a lot of agents with listings that would be more than happy to let you hold them open. Do a great job, give the agent feedback, make sure the lights are turned off, etc. when you're done. And then the hope is that they call you next time and say, hey, I've got a new listing coming this weekend. Would you like to host my open house for me? Look at that. We've got no open houses this weekend, guys. We need to schedule some. So what happens if this was my favorite ad that I ran after I stepped off of a team of being on it for a few years and went solo? I did a lot of Facebook marketing, and it was, would you like a list of open houses this weekend for you to visit? Now, I didn't have a website that had this filter at the time, so I had to go into the MLS and generate an open house list, put it in a pretty little table and email it to everybody that I had captured their information for. It took me about an hour to do. And if I didn't do it, I had so many emails and texts from people saying, hey, where's that list of open houses for this weekend? Within that email, I made sure that they knew that I was the best person to contact if they had any interest in that home. The person sitting in it is likely the listing agent and is representing the seller. Here's why you want representation for yourself. If you're not sure what a home could possibly be worth and you like it, well, reach out to me. I can do a little mini and market analysis for you. So the open house one is a cool filter for us to use. So if that was our ad, that's the only filter I have applied right now. I'm going to take that URL and I'm going to copy it. And that is my destination link for my Facebook ad. So even if they live in Dallas, Georgia, it'll ask them for their location and they'll say yes, and they'll show them the open houses around them in Dallas, Georgia. So I like that. I like that filter. The next one I like is, here are the homes that have been reduced in price in the last 7 days. Let me give it just a second. I'm clicking around too much for it. So we will start going into homes that have recently had a price reduction. And so again, we can capture this URL just here, copy it, and paste it. And we can let them know, hey, you are a smart buyer. You're shopping for a home that's recently had a price reduction right here, just reduced. We put a little emoji in our ad of the smart person with their graduation cap and gown on. And we say, you're smart. That's why you don't pay full price for properties. Preview the map, preview the homes that have been reduced in price in the last 7 days. And so inside of the folder, inside of the Google Drive, I have all this text for you guys. And you're going to see when we build this Facebook ad in 2 minutes, this lines up with all the headings inside of the Facebook ad. And all you got to do is copy and paste. You see the little just reduced image just there? Well, they're right here in the library for you guys to use. Here is a just reduced with a real nice kitchen. Here's a just reduced with a nice little stage bedroom. You guys use all of this, okay? You just got to download it and use it. Use whichever one you like. Last thing, 2 minutes inside of our website, and we will then jump into building the Facebook ad, and we will be out of here at 2:30. So we have a drop-down menu here. In this class, we don't go into building our websites. there's going to be videos on those, and we will have other classes on building our website. But anytime we build a page, it ends up right here. And so the few basic ones that we get a main page, and it has 2 big areas for text and 2 big areas for images. And you put whatever you want there. You know, here's how I help buyers. Here's how I help sellers. Here's why it's a great time to be a buyer. Here's why it's a great time to be a seller. It can be whatever you like in that content. You have an about me page as well. And look, it pulled in that profile from our marketing profile as well. And we have a little contact us page. And when we build this page, we choose what message goes in this prompt, because when I click it and type, his message will go away. However, you can put HTML code inside of your websites by copying and pasting it. And that's why it's a slightly different class, because you can see right here, you know, Garrett goes into Homekeeper and he grabs the widget. It's got a widget, and that widget has a code, an HTML code, and you'll copy it and you'll paste it, and it will create this whole page for you. Testimonials. There's 2 pages inside of our websites that we can choose. One is a testimonial capture that we send people to leave us a review, and the other one is the display of testimonials. You also have the ability to create a Keller mortgage page, okay? And so you can see this branding right here. If they clicked apply now, they are being sent to my Keller mortgage page. You will need to get with your Market Center tech trainers most likely to do this. It is very simple once you've seen it done once. This page right here is the HTML code for that Keller mortgage page that you're looking at. And this is going to sound really complicated, but it's not. You're going to go to Keller Mortgage Portal and grab your URL link that we looked at on Tuesday. And you're going to come right here. And you're going to remove that link, and you're going to add your link. Right here inside of parentheses HTTPS, you're going to remove that link and add your own link. So if you need help with that, get with your Market Center tech trainer, and they'll be very happy to help copy and paste that text. The good news is you can't mess anything up. If you do, just don't save it, and you'll be just fine. But we'll grab that whole text and paste it onto our website page. When we have our website page at the end of the month, I think it's last Tuesday of this month, I'm going to have 5 widgets ready for you guys just to copy and paste into your websites, okay? So that is it on our overview of websites. We are now going to jump in and make the Facebook ad that you all have patiently been waiting for. So we're in campaigns. We're going to click create a campaign. We're going to go to social ad. I'm going to name that social ad. What is your goal? When it says what is your goal, this is the only time that matters. Continue, you ask, how can I get a copy of this? When we're done at 2:30, I'm going to bring the QR codes back up on screen and paste a couple of links in chat for you guys to have access to the recordings and the material. And then if something still isn't quite making sense, your Market Center tech trainer will definitely walk you through one-on-one with everything, okay? So right here, when it comes to this goal, there are people that say it doesn't matter which goal you select here. I have been told by the people that designed this, it does matter what goal you select right here, okay? There's 2 that receive the best results. My main one is attract buyers, and in a little bit of a distant second is advertised listing. Some of these other ones like awareness, think of awareness as a billboard. They're seeing your information. There's no way for you to capture their information. You got to rely on them calling your number. My business isn't at a point where I'm doing that. I'm not Mark Spain with billboards everywhere all over the interstate. I need to capture people's information. Attract buyers. So what this option here, or these options are, you're telling Cammand to talk to Facebook, and between the two of you, help me with some targeting when it comes to who's going to see my ad. That's a very basic way of explaining it. I'm going to choose which platforms would I like to run this campaign on. Facebook and Instagram. If you choose Facebook and Instagram, on the last step, when it asks you your daily budget and you give it $10, it will then say, well, how much of that $10 do you want to give to Facebook? How much of that $10 do you want to give to Instagram? And then we're going to be here inside of the Facebook ad builder. We'll hear from Gary later. Right down here on the right side, that is what it's going to look like as we build it. So right here, listing, add a listing. This is the only field that isn't mandatory. So if I'm running an ad on homes that have recently had a price reduction, I'm not going to attach a listing just here. However, if we do want to attach a listing, we will go find that listing. We'll select that listing. And we're going to start building it as we go. We will get to change the photos if we want to. So right here when it says text main copy, that pulled in my listing description from the MLS. The listing description is usually not the best example or the best text to use. We've got to summarize it a lot quicker than that and have a few call to actions in it. We do have the ability to right click and add some emojis. We're looking for that graduation one. Here we go. So you can right click and click emoji, or you can click this emoji just here. If you guys are seeing this happy face in this green circle, you probably are. That's my Grammarly add-on, so that Grammarly can tell me when my grammar is not very good. So again, I can click on that and I can search for things. People love emojis in their text, but again, call to actions, guys. Call to actions with the main goal being we need to encourage them to click the learn more button. Next Thursday, we have a class on just Facebook ads that Rich Reed is going to lead with us. And it's got some really cool ad examples for you guys. Right here, I showed you guys, this is the file that you'll get inside of the drive with all kinds of ads created for you. And again, I mentioned right here, ad text, description, destination link. If we jump back in, text, main copy, headline, description, that they line up for the most part. They have made a few word changes, but it will run along with you. So headline, it's my bold text right here. So I'm going to have a call to action. Learn more for pricing. Again, we'll make our ad sound just a little better than that. You guys are seeing it as it builds. Maybe it could say learn more to save thousands. I'm putting my no-cost loan and saving thousands in every piece of marketing that I'm doing, okay? So for time's sake, we're going to keep it just a little bit shorter. You guys are going to have, a little bit more text in there than that, a couple more emojis to look good. Moving on to our next box, that is media. So right now we have a image. When we go ahead and click add more, we're going to load the rest of our images. And so, I think 6 is the max. There's a lot of data points out there that say, less is better, but you'd want to have a couple. Again, our main goal is not show them everything because we want them to click learn more so they end up on our website. And I know they look a little squished there, but they will absolutely not be squished when the ad is run. This is another example that we do put a logo on the picture, so don't put your own logo on any sort of designs. But there you go, that's new. We're going to require that every time now. I think it used to be required. It never used to give us the option. Now it gives us the option and says, just kidding, it is required. The next thing we're going to go to is Facebook settings. So there's some new things inside of here. That's right. I'm not connected to my page right this second. So right here, it will show you your personal account, and then it will show you any page that you have admin rights to. So maybe you have multiple businesses. You can advertise out of Cammand for multiple businesses. For this one, I'm going to stick to my Facebook group, and you can tell, you know, it rebrands you in the preview. The next step just here, this is the most important step of running a Facebook ad, guys. And I'm so happy that I keep forgetting I'm not connected to Facebook right this second. I'm sorry about that. I'm really happy they put recommended here. It should say almost always, because here's the difference between a lead generation form and a site or landing page. Let's talk about the one we don't want to use first. A site and landing page, when someone clicks learn more, it's going to auto send them to this website URL, this destination link, and it's going to be up to that destination to capture their information. So maybe I'm sending them to a landing page to give them information about a listing. That's awesome. But if they don't scroll down to the bottom or at the top, enter their information in the lead capture and hit OK, they're going to get to see that property, and I'm never going to know who saw it, and I'm never going to get their contact information. That doesn't really work for me. I want to use this lead generation form because it will then, when they click learn more, load the lead generation form with their info pre-populated, and they got to hit that OK to move on to get the information that they want to get. So we always use lead generation form. Occasionally, you know, someone calls me and says, you know, my lead cost just skyrocketed from the past. About 90% of the time, they chose the wrong option right here. They were getting a lot of clicks, but they weren't getting many leads because no one wanted to give them the info because they already got the info they were looking for. Right here, our button label. They gave us a new one today, or in just a couple of days. I like it. It used to be learn more, sign up, and apply now. And I said, everyone, no one wants to sign up for anything. No one wants to apply for anything. They do want to learn more. And, you know, if it's a certain kind of ad with the right call to actions, I like the idea of a contact us as well. The next thing, audience. So as of right now, we are telling Cammand and Facebook, advertise in a 20-mile radius around Lawrenceville, because that's where the home was, and you choose who you wish to target. And for many people, they run ads that way, and their ads work fairly well, and their lead cost is pretty decent, and they're good with that. Again, this website URL, you know, we went and found the listing on our website, copied the URL, and then we pasted it just there. If I click under custom settings, this little toggle button, I'm now going to have the option to, one, change my location. So if you have a listing that's on the other side of town and you don't want to work, 20 miles radius is a really big radius. If you don't want to be working way on the other side of that circle, well, instead of dropping your pin where the home is, drop the pin a little closer to you. Yet the home that you listed is still going to be in that 20-mile radius, but you're going to be receiving leads a little closer to you. 15 miles is the minimum radius that Facebook allows you to advertise in for a real estate ad. If you go on Facebook, sure, it will tell you that you can advertise a 1 mile radius. And the second that you click that it's a real estate ad, it will change it to a 15-mile radius. And if you tell it it's a different type of ad and it's not a real estate ad, they'll just deny your ad. So there's not really a way around that right this second. So we're creating a custom audience. Targeting your database would be, we've already captured a bunch of leads, and now we want to follow them additionally. But right under here, where it says include people who match these interests, we can hit add interests, and we can go search for some interests. So I'm going to pull up just a little. So a few ideas of what you could possibly use. I borrowed this from Nick Baldwin. If you're not a member of Labcoat Agents, you should join the largest Facebook group in the world. And I appreciate him sharing this graphic. Targeting some first-time home buyers. I honestly personally don't know if I'm specifically targeting them right this second. Some ideas when it comes to luxury. I'm targeting buyers in general, maybe not first-time buyers specifically. Some seller ones. Sellers are really hard to target. People ask me all the time, how do I generate seller leads? Well, do we have a listing, or can we advertise a property that's in the price range of a move-up buyer? If my average price point in my market is, say, $325, do I have some, $450 to $550 listings, or can I go get one from a friend and use that listing to advertise? Because the people looking at that price listing, there's a good chance they may have a home to sell as well if I ask the right question. So again, this is in that drive. Some additional interests I like. Our friends over at Zillow. So my big belief is that most buyers end up there eventually. And when they do, Zillow follows them around on Facebook and says, like my page, like my page. And so far, Zillow has gotten 34 million people to like their Facebook page. That's pretty crazy if you ask me. So I'm going to piggyback on that and use it. Maybe I go realtor.com. Again, there's a difference here, guys, between realtor.com that 5 million people have liked and Realtor Pro that 249,000 agents have liked. I'm not advertising to agents. Some other things that could be out there. Mortgage calculator. Just over 3.5 million people like this. You go online to search for mortgage calculators. Some of them are going to follow you around Facebook and make you like them. So some ways to add additional interests. About 5 or 6 is my max. I've heard people saying go a little higher, but I've also heard plenty of people say don't go over 5. The next thing, we're going to be 1 minute late, and I do apologize, guys. Right here, lead settings. We talked about some auto tagging earlier. Right here, what do you want to happen when this lead comes into this campaign? I want to add them to the tag, because that's the address of my old home. So whenever I generate a lead and they come through this campaign, that lead will automatically have that tag on there. And what smart plan would you like to automatically start them to? You don't have to have built a smart plan with that tag on it. I can say, I want to add them to my this plan that I have for my I should have a better example of that. My Facebook lead follow-up. Save, and now as soon as I capture that lead, they're going to be added to that smart plan right away. And here, guys, here's your duration. How many days do you want to run it for? My rule of thumb is $10 a day. If you've only got a $50 a month budget, run an ad for 3 days, lead generate, and run another ad for 2 more days and spend your $50. That's going to be your timing, total budget, $10 a day for 10 days. If you have a larger budget, smaller budgets more consistently work better. I would much prefer that you ran multiple $50, $80 ads than you went and ran one ad for $500, $600. If you guys are spending more and more each month, love to book something with you just to see how we can make sure you're getting good results inside of Cammand and Facebook ads. And I would simply publish the campaign, guys. Again, I haven't connected certain things here, so I haven't quite finished it. We would publish it. we'll schedule it to publish, and that will be our Facebook ad finished. So I think of everything we did over the last couple of days, your running of the Facebook ad is one of the more simpler things. It's very intuitive on, you know, what to click and what to put where. So any questions? I'm going to pull a couple of things up real quick for you guys because I told you I would get you all out of here on time. So QR code on the left, that is our Facebook group, KWAP Tech Success Mastermind. Please join it. I'd love to see you there. And on the right is our Google Drive for Tuesday and today's class. So you'll see it says recording day 1. It'll say recording day 2. And a bunch of the documents and files and folders you saw today and Tuesday, they're all going to end up inside of there for you guys to use however you like. Most of them are not editable. You will either need to duplicate it or just copy and paste it into your own. You can use all those images inside of the drive. We own the rights to those images in the SmartPlan library, so you can absolutely use them. I'm gonna hang around for a couple minutes just in case anyone does have questions or they're still scanning that QR code. I definitely appreciate all of you spending a good amount of time with us the last couple of days. If we can ever do anything to help,